Hey, what up? This is Omar Gooding. You're watching Line for Line with Devon Booker. And it starts right now.
About the five guys, that was me trying to cope with depression. Shout out T-Rat, Tricky and Savvy. Know they coming if I send on the Addy. See, we just living by the code, no capping. Yeah. It's more than a podcast, it's a life hack for a lost soul that was on the verge, trying to figure how to get their life back. Real talk. See, you got a voice on this podcast. You can be you on this podcast. Educate all the youth on this podcast. Elevate me and you on this podcast. That's the reason we here, okay? It's family and friends, okay? Be real, you ain't gotta pretend, okay? Okay.
Hey everyone, this is Tony Montemurro. Today I am hosting Kenosha's #1 podcast, Line for Line. And today I am actually interviewing Mr. Booker.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing today?
I'm actually hanging in there, sir.
Oh, how do you like the roles being reversed? You ready for this?
I'm a little bit nervous, but I think I'm good to go.
All right, we're going to hit you hard. We're going to 2020.
Yes, sir.
Back in the day.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to start out very simple. I want people to understand the man behind Line for Line. So tell me about your childhood. Where do you come from?
Oh, yeah. So I actually come from Kenosha, Wisconsin. A lot of people actually don't know this. This is the first time hearing this. I was actually adopted.
Oh,
So, yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I've known you for quite a while, and I didn't even know
Well,
that.
Line for Line is the home of authenticity. So
Oh, true.
Let me go ahead.
True.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was adopted to a nice family. Gave a good kid a great chance. I was born in Peoria, Illinois.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that, but
Mhm.
that's where my Bears heritage.
Oh, well, that
where
makes sense. Now you got to pass. You got to pass.
That's where my
You're
Bears
from there.
blood
I
come
get
from.
it.
Yeah. So yeah, I just grew up. I always loved sports,
Mhm.
comic books, wrestling.
Mhm.
What else did I love? I just loved being
Did you
a
play
boy.
sports?
I did. I played basketball. I played football. But what's most surprising is I took a liking to rugby when I got to
Oh.
high school. Yeah.
Do they have that around here?
They did not have that around here until I got into high school.
Mhm.
So the people at Parkside, they were the ones who got it like into Kenosha. You
Cool.
know? So I guess they met someone from the Harlequins. I don't know if you know where the Harlequins, they're like a professional rugby team, but they met some guys at Parkside. They
Cool.
got into Parkside, and then Parkside started
Well,
spreading
you got the
around.
build for it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yep, for sure. Cool. So tell me how Line for Line got started.
Line for Line got started. I've always been a talker, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere I go, I'm always just asking people questions. Like, so whenever I was on sports teams or just in class, wherever the case may be, I was just always that talker asking people
Sure.
different questions. And people would always ask, how do you come up with this stuff? Because I'm the type, I'll say, hey, Tony, what would
Sure.
you say if that guy just came over here and just like told us both we were ugly and ran over? Just crazy
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Yeah, that's always been me.
But it's
so.
always been authentic. Like you sincerely want to know the answer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And for those of you who don't know, we met actually at work. We were
Yeah.
working with each other, and we kind of just connected. And he'd ask me these questions, and I'm not used to that. But he actually wanted to know the answer. He wanted to get to know me, which I was very surprised because most of the time it's very superficial,
Mhm.
like the kind of thing. If someone says, "How you doing today?" they don't really want the answer.
Yes, sir.
It's kind of like, "Okay, I'm fine," and that's always the answer. You actually ask in-depth questions. So, I think this is right up your alley, but that
Yeah.
makes sense if that's how it started, for sure. So if people want to get on Line for Line, like if they have a story to tell, say they're an athlete in Kenosha, someone who's an aspiring actor, aspiring politician, how would they get a hold of you?
So yes, you can reach out to Line for Line. We have several different platforms. We have Instagram, that's at Line for Line Podcast. Our email, lineforlinepodcast@gmail.com. Facebook, Line for Line Podcast. You can just search on YouTube, Line for Line Podcast, leave a comment. We've actually been getting a lot of comments. Actually, we just met someone from Cincinnati, Ohio. She's an
Awesome.
artist. She said, hey, I know you're in Kenosha. I'll drive that 6 hours to come on your platform. Your
Awesome.
platform really did something to me. And she's an artist, like she paints and stuff like that. She said, I saw your interview with a rapper and I love that. Like she said, I've been following him ever since that day.
Yeah.
Now. So yeah, you can find us anywhere there.
And that's kind of nice because you can get these young artists, whether it's artists with music,
Mhm.
artists with actual art like her,
Mhm.
where, you can get a nice interview like this and then put it on your social media.
Exactly.
And have people see a different side of you when you're the one being interviewed instead of like being the star of it.
Yes,
Very
sir. Yeah.
cool. Now, where do you see Line for Line in 5 years?
Oh, that's a great question. So I tell people this a lot now that Line for Line is becoming more than just a podcast.
Oh, and there's no doubt.
Yeah, Line for Line is giving people hope. And obviously I do videography as well too. You might catch me at a basketball game in your local city recording a athlete that found me on Twitter and said, hey, I want you to come to our game. We'll send you tickets. We'll pay for you to get here, whatever the case may be. And that's how we're connecting as well, too, because I do a lot of videography. So I do a lot of talking that way as well, too. But 5 years from now, obviously, I have my new studio now, but I want to I can't talk right now. You got me choked up.
Yeah.
But I want to eventually own a warehouse where I can have different things in there. There'll be like a nice little gym. And like I said, the warehouse will go hand in hand with like the type of different guests that I have as well too.
Sure.
So you may see a big gym in there. So when trainers come on,
Nice.
we may even do an episode in the gym workout so we can make the intro for the episode as well too.
Yeah.
And I want different rooms as well too, so we can shoot different commercials, different music videos and everything like that. And I want it to be able to help the community as well too, where there's a learning center, there's arts and crafts, there's just things to really help the community. And it all starts with the youth as well too. Like when I was a child, I didn't have anything like that really growing up that I had access to that can help me stay out the streets or anything like that, or just give me a chance to find a new niche, you know, like just find something new, learn something new, whether it's reading a book or learning how to fish or just something like that.
Of course. Yeah. You don't even know if you like something if you're not exposed to it.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah.
And if anyone can do it, it's you. I mean that.
I appreciate it.
From when you started this to where it's at now has blown me away. I work with a lot of people, and your desire to be great is palpable.
Yes, sir.
So if you say you're going to do it, I firmly believe you, and I will help you as much as I can. And I think everyone's getting around, this because it's cool. It's a project that's gaining traction because you can provide a platform for people. Again, social media, any type of exposure, and they can buy into it because you literally started. It's not like your parents gave you $1 million loan or something like that. You started this all out with a cell phone.
Yes,
so
sir.
To see where it's in this amount of time, the traction you've gained in 5 years, I firmly believe that is where it'll end up being.
I agree.
And it might take 5 to 10 years, and that's fine. But yeah, that's great.
Yes,
I definitely think if anyone can do it, it's you.
You got me ready to cry over here.
No, it's the truth. I honestly, there's certain projects like this that resonates, and you feel that energy of it and you want to be a part of it. And this is definitely one of them.
Yes,
but again, I've seen yours and you've interviewed people from all different backgrounds, different desires in life, and you gave them their story. You never made it about yourself. You made it their story. And I think that's a cool thing. Why do you do Line for Line? I understand why you started it. Why do you continue to do it?
Yes, I just like being that everyday man that gets out and asks those questions. A lot of people are, I wouldn't say necessarily scared, but they're kind of indifferent about the approach on how to ask the question. And I'll give you a perfect example. I had a realtor on the episode and we were talking about credit. I even showed him my credit. I said, oh, so how far am I off from doing this? And he said, oh, no, your credit's good.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I was acting, but I was like, I want to be that voice that asks these questions that people want to know.
Yeah, that we would be asking ourselves.
Exactly. So when I have a doctor on, I'll say, hey, so how do we protect ourselves from COVID?
Yeah.
Or how do we protect ourselves from this or that?
Yep.
Or if I have an athlete on, I'll say, so what type of training do you do to work on your handles or something like that? And then you'll see a kid from Washington say, oh my gosh, I was wondering how I can get my handles better or anything like that. I just really want to be that informative platform that really helps people while being cool as well too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Who is your dream interview for Line for Line?
My dream interview.
Besides myself, I've already done that.
My dream interview. Oh my gosh. I think it's literally Zach LaVine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Excellent athlete.
Yes.
Mega athlete, actually. Came back from a major injury. Exactly. Obviously, right now the Bulls are doing very well.
Oh my gosh. They're tied for number 1 in the East right now as well, too.
And combined with DeMar DeRozan, I think him and that squad's good. And they haven't been together that long. So,
no.
If you're looking at a dangerous squad, they got their center, they got everything.
Yes, yeah.
Ball's doing pretty dang good.
He changed his shooting. He changed a lot.
Maybe his dad wasn't so off with his ball boys. Honestly, his dad was telling us for years. And if you look at his boy, they're not off.
I noticed one thing about when you speak stuff into existence.
LeVar did it.
People are always going to look at you like you're crazy. Oh, he's just talking, or he's doing too much. He's talking too much. But then when it's there, they're like, oh, we should have invested earlier. Maybe we should have believed in him.
True.
And line for line, I want people to be able to be believed in, you know?
Oh,
So if
absolutely.
it's a new musician or up and coming, I want them to come and host their talent for people to say, this kid has something.
Yeah, for sure. So in the scheme of your daily life, what does that consist of?
Oh my gosh. So I have a beautiful daughter, Elena. She'll be 5. So a lot of it's running around with her as well too. Her mom, my beautiful lady, Elizabeth, she's a nurse practitioner as well too. So it's a lot of helping her with her notes as well as she gets geared towards going back to school as well.
Yeah.
A lot of working out.
Yeah.
A
And you're
lot.
in the medical field as well. I mean, that's
Exactly.
how we met.
Yes,
I
yes,
got
yes.
you.
A lot of comic books. A lot of time on my phone where my daughter gets mad at me with that because people are always sending me new stuff, and I'm like, "Hey, did you see this new Marvel stuff?" Or "Hey, you should check out this person," or
Oh, for
anything
sure.
like that. Just a lot of reading as well too,
Good.
because I'm reading a lot of books as well too. I'm actually reading Midnight Library right now too, so that's a really great book
Cool.
because it goes into like time travel and things like that. And as you know, as a Marvel fan,
Oh yeah.
the next phase of Marvel, all of that is in there, you know, time travel and
Yeah. What
memories
if?
of that. Yes, exactly.
So I obviously you talked a little bit about like your athletics. Do you dabble in music? Do you do any?
I actually do.
Okay.
What's funny is I used to think that I could be a rapper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, I think I could do something. I used to go by the name Kicks Too Dope for my love of shoes. Like every time you would see me, I would have on a different pair of shoes, and I wear like bright shoes and shoes that just stand out. So
Any freestyling?
a little bit.
All right. Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I think people need to see different sides of you.
Mhm.
Obviously, with your platform, you really put everyone else on the podium,
Mhm.
and then you learn a lot about them. But again, another thing I did not know about you. Obviously, I think a lot of people know that you love comic books, and that's awesome.
sir.
And sports. I mean, we could talk about sports all day.
Yeah.
But the music, that's a new one. I didn't realize you dabble in that.
Yeah, I actually do. I'm gonna send you a song too.
Oh,
that you can
feel
listen
free.
to
And
on
it's
the way
you.
home.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
and it's
Okay.
me. Yes,
Awesome.
I'm gonna send you a song.
So in the current state of the world, and in the world, obviously, Kenosha is the center of a very big, news story right now. Obviously, going on with Kyle Rittenhouse.
Mhm.
Just to turn the tables a little bit, what are your thoughts on the case?
Oh, I think my thoughts on the case. I'm really just iffy about the outcome. I can see it going either way.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at it, obviously any competent person will, and I'm
Mhm.
not saying people are slow or anything like that.
No, but people are
Yeah,
emotional.
exactly.
Yeah, I feel you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you do have to see both sides of it as well too.
Mhm.
And to his defense, I can see where they would say it was self-defense,
Sure.
but then I can say like, well, he did just kill 2,
Yeah.
almost 3 people.
Yeah.
Should he be on the streets and should he be
Mhm.
able to go to bars where he's wearing shirts that says
Oh, God.
free as F and
Yeah.
but my biggest thing about the case is I just hope no matter what the outcome is that
We
the
have
city stays
peace.
intact.
Absolutely. I'm with you.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
the whole key with everything is we all have to understand we're all in this together.
Mhm.
We only got one go around. We're all children of God, all of
Mhm.
us.
Yes, sir.
And we can't destroy a city. Now, granted, I mean, things happen every day that, aren't on this side or aren't on this side. But if we all came together, we're powerful.
Mhm.
If you take one stick and break it upon your leg, it's going to break real easy.
Exactly.
Take a bundle of sticks and try to do that. It's a little bit more difficult.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, that's the type of mentality we all need to have. It's like, hey, any kind of situation, I don't care what it is, we got to evaluate it and try to be very straightforward, because I think people are so far on one side and so far on the other side when the majority of us are really in the middle.
Exactly.
And we're
Yes,
the
sir.
silent people
Yeah.
in the middle.
Yeah. Fight for a change as opposed to fight for
Yes.
a loud noise.
Yeah, I mean, because you have your daughter, I have my 3 sons, and we want to raise these kids to be in a world of peace,
Mhm.
and it's not going down that way. It really isn't.
This
I
is
mean,
a scary world that we live in right now.
It is. Even our city. I
Mhm.
mean, growing up in Kenosha, when I was a kid, there was one shooting once, and it was at a McDonald's. And it was the biggest news
Mhm.
for a long period of time. I mean, people didn't even go to the McDonald's
Exactly.
as if it was going to happen again. I mean, for years. And then, these past few weekends, there's been shootings, and it's unfortunate. I mean, we got to take pride in our city.
Mhm.
And, I wish there was more things like what you're looking for, an outreach for these kids, and, give them hope.
Mhm.
I mean, make something of yourselves. And these kids don't even know that they could, and then they turn to, like you said, they will turn to the streets or turn to violence or drugs. And it's unfortunate because the worst thing in life is wasted talent.
And I think a lot of it really just has a play in how the media presents stuff to us as well, too. Because obviously, and don't quote me because I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything like that. But I think with like a lot of the music and things like that they put out, they kind of want to dumb down the youth as well, too. Because if I'm owning this $1 billion company, I'm going to want my grandkids and my friends to work here,
Yeah.
So I want the youth dumbed down so where they're not even looking at this, they're just wiping themselves out and looking at things that are going to keep them off. Yes. And that's going to keep them off of this track here and not even and turn a blind eye to the positive stuff over here. So I'm going to flash all of these shiny trinkets in front of them and they're going to look to that and they're going to follow that.
You nailed it on the head.
So
yeah, all that glitters isn't gold.
Yeah.
But again, that's a way of controlling the masses.
Exactly.
I mean, if you really look at it. But yeah, I mean, that's very true. But this type of movement is what we need. We need unity. We need to tell people that they can make something of themselves and give them something to do. That's why, we have like the Recplex, the YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club. I mean, we have these different areas that we need to utilize, for these young kids, because that's really the concern. I mean, a lot of adults make their bed and they sleep in it, but these kids are innocent.
Exactly.
No kid said, hey, I want to be put into this world, and they're put in this, position, and it's difficult. So, I mean, making sure that the kids have if they had a warehouse where they could go to and feel like, they could learn different things, they might find out that they are good at art.
Exactly.
Where they never got exposed to it. Maybe they do want to go fishing. And
they won't look at it like it's not cool or anything like that because media tricks them into thinking like certain stuff like that isn't cool,
Yeah.
Oh, you have to be the next rapper, or you have to be the next this, or you have to be the next that.
Yeah, and you don't. They got to be the next themselves. That's what it is. And I think a lot of that too comes with, what we're looking at in society with faith. I mean, I'm a Christian and
Christian as well.
Yeah. And for me, I think that dictates a lot of who I am. And I see a lot of that in you too, where, if I'm going to say who I am in any kind of situation, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a son. I mean, I'm a Christian. And I think that's something that society has kind of frowned upon, having that type of opinion on something. And I think that type of taboo, the more you push that out of society, the more we have what we're dealing with now.
Exactly. And I think a lot of it, when it comes to like, if you're a believer or anything like that, a lot of people just turn that light on and instantly, oh, he thinks he's perfect, or he swears he's this or that. Like me, just speaking for me in person, I'm not a perfect person. Every
None
day,
of us are.
yes,
we got to be better.
Exactly. Every day, I'm just trying to be the better person than I was the day before, and learning as I go, as well too. But if I could do anything, I want to show people that I've been in situations that I've came out on top of, and I didn't let those situations destroy me and bring me down
or determine who you are.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So
if you could have your daughter have one lasting memory of you, what would it be?
Determination. I want.
That's appropriate.
Exactly. Yes. I want her. It's like she's gonna see it. She's gonna say, "My dad was determined. Like he never gave up." Because there's been times where I was homeless, where I had no car, no vehicle. When I was going to school to get my associates, I didn't have a car. I didn't have a place to stay at nights. But my friends would laugh at me. Wait, you're still walking in a blizzard to get to school to get a degree, even though you need money right now and you need a place to stay right now. And like even my own dad, I remember calling him for a place to stay. I was like, "Hey, I need a place to stay. This resource has been exhausted because obviously there's lack of room and everything like that."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, well, what are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I go to school right now and I'm trying to get my degree so I can not have to be in a situation." And he literally told me, "Oh, you're thinking about the right now. You're thinking about the future. You need to be thinking about right now." And those words literally stuck with me. And like I said, I was walking to school, whether it was a blizzard, raining, or anything like that, because I always see the greater goal.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take every step to get there. If I have to sleep on the floor, if I have to sleep in my car in a Walmart parking lot or whatever like that, I'm going to reach the goal that I'm set out. And I want my daughter to see that her father was a determined young man.
Oh, there's no way she can't.
Yeah.
What is the one thing that you are most proud of yourself for?
Never giving up. Because I know so many.
And that goes with the determination.
Yes, exactly. Because I know so many people my age, they'll use situations to determine why they didn't do more or why they didn't try harder in life as well.
That's this generation too.
Yes.
What's coming along that people will, encounter an obstacle and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I tried.
Or
And
I
it's like,
can't
well,
do it. Yeah.
yeah.
I can't do it because I was homeless. So I just gave up. Like I just might as well accept it and embrace that fact. But no, that's not me. You know, like I
had no idea either.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, again, if you see, that's determination. I mean, it would have been very easy for you to have given in, for you to be very angry at the world, and to not do anything with yourself and just say, "Hey, I'm homeless.
Yeah.
I'm done."
But no, that's not what God had planned for me.
I love it. I love it. So if you were to be given $1 million, what would be the first thing you'd buy?
The first thing I would buy. You're putting me on the spot with that one.
I am. I'm hitting you with the hard questions.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that to be cool or anything like that, but I just feel like that I have everything right now that God intends for me to have right now. So I would either buy like a bigger house for my family, invest in my daughter's future for college,
of course,
or I would invest. Yeah,
investing is a good thing. I mean, right now there's so many opportunities with this whole crypto world. I mean, this crypto world's insane. I mean, we're talking about everyday people can become, a crypto millionaire in a day.
Yes.
It's the opportunities are there. I mean, like you said, I mean, the guy who says I can and the guy who says I can't are both right. If you say you can't do something, lo and behold, you won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
But if you say you can, lo and behold, you can do that too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to finish up.
Yes, sir.
So if you wanted to give one lasting, impression to your viewers about, Line for Line podcast, where it's going, what they can do to help, I mean, besides being like on the show, people can help and get involved. What would you tell your viewers?
I would say just pray. If that's not the route you take, just think of me. Because there's times where I battle things like a lot of people don't know this, but I really care a lot about what other people think. So when it comes to the music, I was almost ready to not have any more musicians on, change my theme song as well too.
Really?
I got told that it was ghetto, and I was like, oh, okay. And like I said, I'm just the type that just harps on things, and I let stuff get me down. So I just want people to just keep me in good thoughts, because there's times where I'm battling stuff like that.
No, absolutely. I think they should keep you in your prayers. I mean, prayers are a powerful thing, and to keep you in their thoughts. But at the same token, you got to do you.
Yeah,
I think it's cool. Yeah. I mean, if someone has a problem with it, don't listen to it. But I mean, obviously, you mentioned before all the different social media aspects. We want the people to go on there, subscribe, hit the like button. Yes, get the notification.
Yeah, turn that notification bell
turn that
on.
Notification. Destroy the button.
Also, it takes 2 seconds. Even if you don't watch the whole video, please just open it. Give me that like. Give me that little watch. That's all I need.
I mean, we're trying to give a local guy, his own platform, and he's trying to do it for us. I mean, he's interviewing Kenosha people. He's bringing up the Kenosha name. I mean, I definitely think it's something that we should all support. And I think we have to give a big round of applause for the host. Thank you. Thank you for being our guest today.
Yes, sir.
And continue to make us proud. You make me very proud. I know you're doing that for a lot of other people too. So you're giving them their platform. You're creating something out of nothing. And I do believe you're destined for even better.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir.
And have a good one.
Yes, sir.
You calling or you listening, tune in every week. Line for line. Oh yeah, I'm going line for line.